Yeah, good evening, guys. It is me, your brother, your friend. This is Matter Rising with Humanist Steven. And today, like I told you during my morning broadcast, when I led the breaking news of the rampaging uh, Fulani S-men, in our forests. I told you that I was coming out today again to make a broadcast on the issues that is actually, you know, uh, traveling in our communities. Uh, Today, this broadcast is not to undermine anyone. I want to make sure it is very clear. But as a matter of fact, is to correct some impressions based on the series of videos I've done in the past and the backlashes that I've received from our brothers on the other device. You know, I've gotten so very many backlashing. And the backlashes. Sorry, girl. That I've received from our brothers on the other device. So I've got so very many backlashes from our brothers, and that has actually made me to okay. I need to come outside today, so we can talk on some of these issues. Please, as you're just coming in, guys, just press the share button. Let's invite as many people as possible into this show. I believe that. But as a matter of fact, is to correct. I believe that we can be able to do more if we decide to understand what we are doing and what we actually stands for. Please, guys, just press the share button, guys. Thank you, guys, as we press the share button. And let's invite friends into the show. Like I said, I'm not a politician. I am a presenter who states the facts the way they are. Good morning, dear Messi Ekwase. How are you doing? Just press the share button. Let's begin to invite people into the show. There are a lot of things I'm going to talk about today anyways. I'm going to talk about a lot of things today, putting them together as one. So let me just see you pressing the share buttons, bringing people in. This is what I do. I try to make sure that I bring news, current affair news, issue bothering of the state to our eyes. And also when there is business opportunities, I also try as much as possible to bring it to our notice. So this is what I practically do right now to see we can have a better, society, that is okay for every one of us to actually, live in today. Okay, so that is what I'm doing, and I know many people sees it. Mr. Kenneth, what Baba? My brother, Ipalgame, I greet you, sir. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So we really need to talk today to get fact and figures together and understand what we are actually trying to do as a people and as a nation. If you watch the Arise News of yesterday, if you watch the Arise News of yesterday, where Professor Yusuf, the former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme, was a guest on Arise TV. He spoke extensively on the insecurity situation in the state. But when he was talking, he was very, very concerned. Go listen to that news. It's about 40 something minutes interview session. He was very, very concerned about the North. He was particularly concerned about the North. Please, as you come in, just give us some thumbs up if you're on YouTube and share the video if you're on Facebook and give us some thumbs up also. So we can get more viewers to come, because the more thumbs up and the more share we do, the more people will get into the show. Thank you, guys. It was very, very concerned, more concerned about the North, even when one of the anchor of the show asked him a question concerning the murder of a first class king in the West. He made a very clear statement that he didn't even talk about that. He said there are more kings. There are more kings that was being killed in the North than that was killed in the South. Yeah, he spoke very eloquently, and everyone would say he was on point. Yeah, he was. He was actually on point. He was hitting the nails on the head. But one thing we need to understand, like I said, I'm always a deep thinker. One thing you need to understand from his interview was that he was more concerned about the insecurity situation in the North. I'm coming, guys. I've not got to my topic today. I'm trying to make a ball, to make a ball. It was more concerned about the insecurity situation in the North than what is happening in the South. And so if he's doing that, he was talking as a Northerner, not as a Northwesterner, or as a Northeasterner, or as a Middle Belterner. That is my point. When he spoke, he was speaking across boards in the entire North, laying more emphasis on the North as being insecure. So when these people speak, they speak ingenuism. Any one of them that comes into the show does not have a segregation on which part of the North they came from. When they speak in one voice. They speak as one indivisible entity. Okay? And if any other person comes into the show to speak on the same issue, you're going to see them saying the same thing, maybe in a different words. It's like they had a meeting before a meeting, before their interviews. Since when they came out, I said, Buhari has failed them. You see, every of their leaders coming out right now to speak in one line, one word. That is what is missing in the South. Guys, get this now. The insecurity situation in Nigeria today started from the North, was actually created by them for reasons best known to them. The reasons why they decided to create this monster that is eating deep into the fabrics of the nation today, we don't know. When this very particular insurgency began in the North, every one of them took it with a kid's glove, not wanting to say anything. They were protecting their religion. They were protecting their region. Even when the Southerners were crying. I remember in Zamfara State, when the governor then was under Obasanjo, when he came up with the Sharia law, and the Southerners were complaining, why will you bring a retrogressive law into Nigeria in the 21st century? I remember they said the Sharia law was not for the South, but was actually for the North. So they actually played with this level of insurgency while it was coming up until it finally became the monster it has become today. When I did my first and second video this morning on the insecurity situation in the North and in Edo State in particular, a lot of people were saying a lot of things. And yesterday and a few other days again, I've done videos on the need for a united Southern Nigeria. I did a video here yesterday where I had a lot of backlash from my Southern brothers who believes they are from the Southeasterner. I don't have the Southeast in my dictionary. I don't have the South in my dictionary. I don't have the Southwest in my dictionary. What I have is the Southern region of the country, which was called the Southern Protectorate before the amalgamation of 1914, according to the analysis and historical point of view that I made known to the people yesterday. Okay, having gotten so very many of those comments, negative comments on my persons, and I decided to come out very boldly to address some of those issues and other key issues affecting the Nigerian state, and probably what we think can be the best solution for us to have a peaceful coexistence. I'm going to say before I start, emphatically, that the only way we can be able to get what we want, to have a developed nation, is when the entire Southern state gets united. I'm saying this to the IPOB. I'm saying this to the Oduduwa. I'm saying this to the Niger Delta militants. None of you can ever get your freedom that you so much desire without not working together. If you check the Southeast very carefully, to my Igbo brothers, if you check your map very carefully, if you actually understood what some of us are talking about, nobody ate the Igbos. No. We actually love the Igbos than we love some of our brothers. An Igbo man is a tenant in my house. I treat him more better than I treat an Edo man. Okay? We all Southerners, we are the same. We see ourselves as the same. That's why you can build us in Lagos. That's why you can build us in Benin. I can build us in the East, in Port Harcourt. Any part of the South is easily possible for us to live without fear of being killed by anybody. But the moment we are unable to understand that we are one, then we will continually give rooms for the enemy of the state, enemy of the South, to penetrate into us and also help to create the divides. Please, guys, share this video. I am not really getting much viewers right now. Please share this video, please. So you come in, you just press the share button. I think I'm really getting a lot of problem with Facebook and YouTube right now. They don't actually notify most of my people when I am online right now. Because some people were complaining yesterday that we don't know when you're online. I said, but you're following me. I say, yes, I follow you, but I don't know when you're online. And the only thing that I have to do with issues like this, the Facebook and YouTube are always very, very funny, trying to draw back the people that need to view the content. Okay, but notwithstanding that, the content will be on the social media space and we can be able to get more people to view it at the end of the entire exercise. No one ate the struggle for Biafra. No one is against the Biafra struggle. No Satana, not the Yorubas, not the Niger Deltans, not even some of the Igbos is against the struggle of a Biafra state. Nobody, guys. I want everybody to get the IPOB to get that. So if you think maybe we'll come here, we'll try to put into place analysis of how we can get out of where we are. Everyone that thinks that we are against you guys, that is wrong. No one is against you. No one is against the Biafra struggle. No. No. But the problem is the way and manner it is being addressed. The way and manner it is being carried out. If we have to succeed in having Biafra, we must first of all unite with the two other certain geopolitical zones. Have a roundtable discussion. Sit together. Discuss as one indivisible entity. Put your likes and your dislikes on the table. Let's deal with it. Let's have a robust discussion. Let's have a roundtable talk on the way forward, on what we need to do. Are we going for complete secession? Are we going for complete secession? Or we are going for a restructured, well-functioning Nigerian state? Yeah, YouTube and Facebook, they are very funny. They hate this kind of news That's what they do. They hate this kind of news. They will always find a way to want to make sure people don't get it because they work on the headings. You know, if it's a saga now, it's something that's not going to benefit the people. They quickly send notification around. The thousands of people are coming up online. But when they know it's things that are going to benefit the people, they hold it back because they actually do not want the people, the black man, the Africans, to get some of this news that we put forward to have freedom. We know that. That's why anytime you come up, what you need to do is to share. What you need to do is to put likes. Then the more you do that, then the more they get notification by others, they start coming in. The more like, the more share you put on every video also helps Facebook and YouTube to also give more notification to your people. That's what I've just learned from their system that they operate right now. Okay, guys. So, for you to get Biafra, we must be united. I've said it before, I don't believe in secession. No. And for there to be a secession, one part of the country cannot demand for secession. Go read the history. Go read USS Arrow. How did they break down? The entire component, more than 10 nations in the USS Arrow were actually fighting for secession at the same time. That's how the UN came in and intervened. And the USS Arrow was dissolved with little or no war. Go check Ethiopia, Eritrea. They ended the secession with war. Go check Somalia, war. Go check Sudan, war. So if we want to get secession without the collaboration of the other part of the South, then it means we are going to be 1/6 when the trouble breaks up. So we're going to have a repetition of the event that happened in 1967. If you check the southeastern state, it is being engulfed by the Niger Delta, the so-called Niger Delta region. It is engulfed by the Niger Delta region. So that practically makes it is impossible for you to have a southeast without the cooperation of the Niger Delta. This is my point. So the IPOB guys will not like me when I say this, but I must tell you, that's the only way out. Unity, a round table negotiation with your brothers in the South. That is just it. It's not negotiable. That's the only way out. We don't want to go back again to the time whereby our mothers and fathers were killed in the East. We don't want to do that again. I have a lot of friends and families now in the East. My family married Igbo men. They live in the East. So I don't want to hear them be killed, be bombarded. I don't want to hear them be starved to death. I don't want to hear their borders being locked up. No, that's not what we want. That's not what we want right now. We want a nation, we want a succession that will come in peace. That whatever you've had in the East can be left there to develop on. Not to destroy everything like they did in 1967. Guys, you were not born then. I wasn't born then. But many people that were born then can tell you that war is not a beautiful thing. In Benin, we normally say, Okuemo say, war is not beautiful. War is an ugly sight. The trauma of war can last eternity in your brain if you are actually a victim of war. I would not want to lose my loved ones. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of girlfriends. I have a lot of boyfriends. I have a lot of, fathers in the East who have taken to be my father because of the way and manner we've been going. So I will not sit down and I just watch some guys trying to brainwash the people without not putting the reality on ground. For us not to be killed again, just the way they did in 1967. There's an adage that says once beaten, twice shy. So when I'm clamoring for unity, I'm clamoring for unity because that is the only way you can get what you actually wanted. Not by the divide and rule system, criticizing, abusing, degrading your fellow Satanans. And you think because of that, they will not have to come to you and accept what you want? They won't. We all have egos. They all have pride. They're going to stick to their guns. I would never want to accept whatsoever you think you're looking for. They know what you're looking for is right, but your approach will make people not even want to hear you say it, even when they know you are saying the right thing. The only way out for us to win is when we are united. Please share the video as you're coming in. YouTube, Facebook, please share the video. Just give us some thumbs up, please. I'm only having 8 now. We will have as many as possible in every of our shows. Okay. I want to ask a question to my brothers from the IPOB, not the Igbos now. Not the Igbos now. There's a session called the IPOB, the Indigenous People of Biafra. I want to ask you a question. Maybe you can be able to explain to me better. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I can get explanation from this video. How many meetings, negotiating meetings, had IPOB leader done or made to convince the rest of the South about their intentions of fighting for a Biafra state? How many meetings? How many negotiation meetings are the IPOB leader done in the entire South, particularly within the Niger Delta, that is very close to them, for the fight of a Biafra state? I know Asari Dakubo is fighting for Biafra, but he does not believe in the ideology of some of us who are of the IPOB family. I know Ukori, the Masob leader, is fighting for Biafra, but I'm very sure he does not believe in the tense and turns of the conditions of the approach. And I know the Benin's, the Great Benin Kingdom, is also fighting for same. And I'm very sure they're not also accepting the terms and conditions be put before them by some of our leaders in IPOB. So if you can answer this question and tell me the kind of meeting that you have had, I will be able to get across to these people to ask them if possible, to bring them to this show so they can be asked questions on why they have refused to accept or collaborate with you in actualizing the dream of a Biafran state. You can insult me for all I care, but I must continue to tell you the truth. Somebody told me yesterday, said even without me, in my lifetime, that Biafra is going to show up. I said, I praise God for it. Nobody said, get dead. Listen, guys, many of them feels that we are against the Biafra nation. And that really gets me worried. Rather than us seeing the threat Rather us seeing the problem that we are facing as a nation. That it is not the South, but rather it is selected few among us, both in the North and in the South, that is actually creating the monster that is eating up the entire fabrics of the state called Nigeria. If you get the Biafra state in my time, that would be perfect. Maybe with that, we can get the Niger Delta nation. Maybe with that, we can get the Duduwa Republic. Maybe with that, they can get the Middle Beltline nation. Maybe with that, they can get the Northeast and the Northwest nation. Maybe with that, the Nigerian state can be divided into 6 or even more nations. But the truth is this: at what cost? At what cost? People clamoring for war should go sit down and ask their fathers and their grandfathers what happened between 1967 and 1970, where 3 millions of my fellow brothers in the East were murdered in cold blood through the gun. Many were killed through starvations. Many of them that are still alive today are still witnessing the trauma they went through in that 30 months of brutal force of the Nigerian government against the Igbo people. I've read the story of the war. Maybe it might not be the true story, but that story was actually written by an Igbo man. I'm very sure he had a clear picture of what actually transpired during that time. So you must go and begin to do negotiation, telling people your intentions and what you want in order for you to get the Biafra state, either as a region or as an independent nation. That is the only way you can get their support. Not by force. You can't get it by force, guys. Rather, you start, it's like you are pouring petrol inside fuel. When you insult the integrity of some people, they will get ready, want to tell you they actually have sense. They will get ready, want to tell you you can't bully me around. They will get ready, want to tell you, oh, we know your plans, but you cannot actually make us to lose our rights, our pride as a people. But when you go into discussion, when you go into peaceful negotiations, you see people jumping on the table, want to do your bidding without them knowing. The only way to get things more easier is through diplomacy, not brutal force. Many Edos, many Ijos, many Shekiris, they are engaged the Biafra nation today. Not because they don't like Biafra. The word Biafra actually came from Ijo land. It was Adaka Borough that actually gave the name Biafra. The Biafra is not even an Igbo word. It's not even an Igbo word. But at the end of the day, but in this new generation now, the reverse is the case. They see Biafra as the 5 states that make up the Southeast. And they see the other minority group as a conquest of these 5 states. That's why we're having problem today. We can say you can never come to my territory. I want to outrun me. The Delta states are saying the same thing. Akrobo the same thing. Edo the same thing. Because there is no proper negotiations among these people and the other elements that make up the South, particularly the South, who are very close to them. Okay? So I will advise you guys, go for negotiation. It's not too late. Go for a roundtable talk. You guys should decide what you want, how you want it to be done. Maybe with that, you can be able to create a new wave of changing things for the Eastern region. When there was a day also, I was listening to one of them, and he said there was only like Benin. You see, there's nothing like Benin. So when I listened and listened, I was a little bit amazed at their submission. Please, guys, just give me some likes, please, and share this video. Please, guys, just some thumbs up. YouTube, give me more thumbs up, please. You know, I was a little bit amazed. And then you see, anytime we are talking about the history of the Benin Kingdom, you see some of these guys, not all the Igbos, please, not all the Igbos, we must know that. Some of the Igbos, some of these IPOB guys will come to your war and begin to lamblast the palace of the king of Benin Kingdom. They're actually the ones that are supporting this guy in Germany. Most of, if you check the followers of that guy in Germany, because I don't like calling his name on my show, they are 95% the Igbos descendants. Who is supporting that guy? Reasons best known to them, not known to us. All is to undermine the authority of the palace of the Benin Kingdom. And the more you decide to undermine the authority of a people and what they believe in, you are practically asking for disunity and war. And the time you want them to support you in your quest for freedom, they will not. They will feel that you've insulted them so much, therefore they are not ready to also give you that moral or human support that you needed in actually the dream of your choice. Nobody insults my father and still remain my friend. It's not possible. Nobody insults my mother and still remain my friend. Nobody insults my wife and still remain my friend. I might forgive you, but I'm going to put a barrier in our relationship. And nobody insult my culture, my people, and think that people will just bow to you and decide to support you for your claim without no resistance. Knowing fully well, if we are still under the brutal colonial measure called Nigeria, in a bigger, more vicious state like Nigeria today, we are still being oppressed, where there are over 500 other ethnic groups. How do you not think that we can be able to now succumb to the pressure of a smaller nation without our inputs, without constitutions being put in place on how the nation can be run between the dominatory tribe and the so-called minority tribe? How do you expect us to accept, even before the coming in of this very particular nation, we are already being oppressed? We are already being victimized. We are already being insulted. We are already being castigated. Our culture is not being defined for us by these people. In their own ways. That is one problem that we are having in getting a Biafra state. My question is this to my brothers, particularly the IPOB. Will any of you be allowed to be called an Edo man, even when history says so? The history said the kingdom of the Benin was stretched over Asaba across the Niger. Even to Onitsha. There are still many people. That's why you have in Igbo land, you have the Okoro. Okoro is actually a name from Benin called Oko. That's how Okoro came in. But how many of you want to accept that you are Beninese without you not being told why? So people trying to rewrite our history as a people, because when you are a minority, we make people not to succumb to your plead. For a new state. Please, guys, just share this video, guys. It's very interesting. Like I said, my show is to educate people. My show is to open the eyes of people to understand where our mistakes are, that we can be able to correct wherever we need to correct, to have a better and a more robust society. I'm not against the Igbos. I love them a lot. I have a lot of them as my friends. Practically, when I came to this country, let me say that a little bit in, the first guy who actually gave me a brotherly love, a shoulder to lean on, was an Igbo guy. His name is called Kingsley Unamdi. Right now, he's in the United Kingdom. Maybe he's going to watch this video because he's following me on Facebook. Go listen to this. The other guy who gave me the first job that I got in this country, his name is called Peter. He's a twin. His other brother lives in the United Kingdom. I think he's going to watch this video. He's also following me on Facebook. So, and I have so very many. I've had so very many of them as friends. We are like family today. We're like brothers. Very close ties. So we talk a lot. There's even one of the IPOB leader here in Stockholm. His name is Lawrence. He lives just about maybe less than 500 meters away from where I live here. He's my friend on Facebook. We've talked about it. He has a different idea from many of these IPOB in negotiating. In negotiation. Because the problem we're having today is the ability to navigate your negotiation techniques in order for you to be able to win the entire South into your fold. That is only when you can get what you actually wanted, whether a full secession or a region that will be independent in the nation called Nigeria, which we call restructuring. Okay, guys? Nobody will want anybody to write their history for them. Nobody. 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 Why the South are not joining you? Because they are trying to tell our histories. They are trying to tell our histories. Okay? They are trying to tell our histories. That is what many of us do not like. Like I said before, the Masob and the IPOB are actually fighting the same cause: the liberation of the Biafra state. Or you might call it the secession of the Biafra state. Please, guys, today is really, really poor. I'm not getting so much. It's really, really, really poor view today. It's really poor view today, guys. Really, really poor view. I think Facebook is really dealing with me. Don't worry, guys, but I will continue to do what we need to do. Okay? The Masob. Sorry, guys. Yeah, hello. Yeah. Okay, guys. The Masob, the IPOB, they have the same. They're playing the same thing, but they are doing it differently. The approach you put in will make people to either accept or reject you outrightly. Okay? Either to accept you or reject you outrightly. You cannot begin to twist the history of a people like you are doing to the Benin Kingdom. In history, go read books, guys. The Benin Kingdom is in the Guinness Book of Record. There's nowhere we have what we called an Igbo kingdom. The Benin Kingdom is being taught in many universities in the US, in the UKs, and many other nations of the world as a course. That's not brainwashing. That is a fact. Today, our artifacts are still very conspicuous in many of the museums in US, in United Kingdom, in France, in Belgium, in Germany, and many other developed parts of the world, even in Sweden. And these artifacts are dated back as far as the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th century backward. So when you come out and you don't want to rewrite the history of a people that have existed for over two millennia, it becomes questionable to the people. We might not be so big because our monarch then, the Reverend Ogisos and the Obas, did not actually believe in slavery. When they conquer a nation, as it was called in those days, All they do is they appoint someone in that nation to supersede the affair of the state. They refuse to impose their culture, their language on anybody. Because we never believe in oppression from the beginning. Go read history. Even to Benin Republic. Down, Eko, down to Ghana. The kingdom was stretched to that extent. This is not fake. This is fact. The Benin Republic yesterday was Benin. It was not pronounced Benin by the French, colonies. The Benin kingdom is not a pushover. They were great warriors in their time. History has made that very clear. The Benin warriors actually stopped Usman Dan Fodio from advancing to the south of Nigeria in the 14th century. They stopped them. They told them, do not go beyond where they are today in the north of Edo State. Don't go beyond there. Having known the victories and the war strength of the Benin kingdom, then, they decided to stop advancing into our kingdom. If you don't know, there was a man called Ogiame. Let me say that also. Who killed a monster? It is a history that is clear to the people. We are fearless people from the beginning. Let's take royalty away from the Benin. The Igbo Domigo people, we have been fearless from the origin. So try to not, some twist the history of a people that have lived over 2 million years, even when there was no existence of any other kind of tribe. You will not say they have been under the control of the Igbos from the beginning. And you think they will be happy over it? They won't, brothers. They won't, brothers. This is where we are making a mistake. Don't undermine, don't underrate, don't underestimate people because they are small in nature or because they are not that big all over. But they have little fragments all over the state, like the Igbos today. The people say Igbos are small people. No. Igbos is nearly in every state in the south. And Ijoma is in nearly every state in the south. They are in one local government or two local governments within the southern region of Nigeria. You want to undermine the people like that? No, guys. We must sit down together. Have a negotiations. You can't untwist the story of other people. Just because you want to sell an idea. The people will revolt. Your brothers will not be the one revolting against you because the South are your brothers. We need to speak in one voice. You can't oppress me to submission and you want me to be happy. It's not possible. We need the United South, guys. And that's what Showore is standing for. That's why I love Showore. And so very many other Igbo brothers of mine who is standing for a United South. That is what we need. That is the only way who can actually make impact. Now, let me shock you guys. Share this video. Let me share this. Let me get likes. The thing is not going. Please just press if you are coming on YouTube, please just press the thumbs up button. Facebook, please give us more likes. Let me see it coming. Okay, guys. Now, do you know the problem of the South? Let me shock you guys. The story that most people parade around today be actually written by the British people. The stories you see being paraded today around on the social media, if you go to Google, if you go to Wikipedia and all that, there are stories written by Africans in collaboration with the British people. How can a people that came to Edo, that actually invaded Edo in 1897, tell me the history of a kingdom that been in existence since the 5th or the 6th centuries ago? How can anyone come to tell me the story of a kingdom that have lived longer, far, far longer before the coming in of the British men? How can they tell me my existence when I am actually a blooded, Southern Nigerian man? The story being paraded today, a story being told by some group of white people just to brainwash the Southerners that you are not brothers, that your enemy is you. They've somehow brainwashed us to a point that they now make us to believe that the enemies of the Biafras are the Niger Deltas and the Yoruba people. And the enemies of the Yorubas are the Igbos and the Niger Deltas. Vice versa. But allowing them not to still remain united as one political religious entity. It's going to shock you guys. People don't like this, but people like us have to say it. Someone needs to tell us the truth. Okay, guys? I said, until you respect others, no one will respect you in return. Until you respect others, no one will respect you in return. If we must build a Biafra nation, then you must speak to everyone about your intentions. If you must build a Biafra nation, then you must begin to speak to everyone, particularly the Southerners, about your intention. Secession is in dialogue. Secession is in negotiations. Restructuring, it is not by war. It is not by propaganda. It doesn't solve anything. It's when you guys sit together, first of all, convince your brothers in the South. They have an agreement with you. They now have a united force. Then we can have a discussion with the federal government for how Nigeria can be restructured to benefit everyone. Let love guide wealth. If you check my video in the morning, I've done 2 videos on that today. I've done 2 videos on that today. 2 videos on that this very particular matter you just brought up about the S-Men. I've done 2 videos on it today. I'm always up on the game. I'm always up with the game. I've done 2 videos on that today. And I believe the government would have seen that video today and they would have acted. Like I've also called, I've called the home and the government is already in action on that very particular incident that took place today. So I'm giving you a very first-hand information. That's even one of the reasons why I'm talking now, my brother. For us to be able to capture and control this old Fulani S-men running around town, we must have unity. If not, you can't do it. Yeah, that's what they do now, Messi. They are dealing with me now. They are really dealing with me. I saw that since 4 days ago that they don't notify anybody of my video anymore. I saw that. Even me, I don't get notification of my videos anymore. Because I have 2 different accounts on Facebook and YouTube. I don't get notifications anymore. So I'm beginning to know that they're actually dealing with me for reasons best known to them. But I will just keep talking anyways. Sometimes when you say things that is trying to open the hearts of the people, they start making you unpopular. That's what Facebook does. That's what YouTube does. So they start making you popular so that people can't view your your video on time. So you don't get a very, very high views. So that's why we encourage people to, when you come in like that, you press the share button, press your like, press the share button, press your like. You will be sharing it, and other people that will be getting it from your wall. Apart from that, they will not. They will not. I have over 15,000 followers in 3 of my Facebook page, and the YouTube. I have over 100,000 YouTubers subscribers on Nigeria Watch. But yet, I can tell you that the people that got the notification is not even up to 20. That is what they do. Many people will be surprised now that I would have done video and gone before they will not say, there was sometimes will be calling me. I just saw your video now. Were you online before? I say, I just finished. Say, ow. Okay, guys. Now, let's go. Little by little. We in the South. Yes, I'm very sure. Yeah, they have reported me. Tony, very, very sure, sir. I'm very sure they've reported because that's their work. They've written to them. They reported that. I'm very sure of that. I'm very sure that they've done that. I know they've done that. They don't like anyone that is. That's why we only do it. The only way we can be able to get across is to share. When we share, we get more views by sharing. But they will not give notification because some people are already writing, some very damaging statement about what I do. So I'm not against what they are doing, but I'm against you trying to superimpose your plans on us without us contributing to what you're doing. That's my take. They will not allow it. They are not happy now. These IPOB are not happy over the way Nigerian government is being run because they are not being put in place to say on how Nigeria should be run. Then why do you want to create a state or a nation with other minority group without not having a roundtable talk with these people? without having, a talk, an agreement with these people on the way forward. That is it. So we, the South, must begin to make the gap created by the British, which is causing more harm than good to our religion, to our region. No, they can't pull it down, but they can reduce the spread, sir. I know that. They can't pull it down, but they can reduce the spread. They don't send notifications. When they're investigating you, they don't send a notification anymore. So it reduces the spread of what people are claiming you are doing. Okay, if it's not a video or if it's not what they can see immediately. I know what I'm talking, sir. Even if I'm online before now, if I just click online, the minimum I get is 50 in 2 minutes. 50 views in 2 minutes on Facebook. But today now we try to get 26 views on Facebook. You know that is not possible. We try to get 26 views on Facebook after 1 hour. That's not possible. That's not possible, sir. And we are getting how many views on YouTube? We're getting 57 views on YouTube in 1 hour. It's not possible. Not on Nigeria Watch. Nigeria Watch has over 80,000 subscribers. And one of the popular face right now on Nigeria Watch. So people know when I'm online, I come to educate people. So that is the truth, sir. So let's leave that. I'm not even worried about that. People are going to just come and share, press the share button, and we move on. We in the South must begin to make the gap created by the British, which is causing more harm than good to our region. That is my take. That's my plea. To the IPOB, the Mossab, the Great Benin, the Oduduwa, let us make this gap. Let's break the bridge created by these people. While they were trying to conquer us, they divided us because they know we were too intellectually mobile. And they know if they allowed to be united the way they met us, then they cannot be able to rule us. They operated the divide and rule system. They decided to divide us along ethnic lines and tell lies to the Igbos against the Yorubas, and the Yorubas against the Igbos, vice versa. That has finally brought us to where we are today. The same lies that have been told over 100 years ago is what we are still peddling on the social media space today by us. This is the same lie we are still peddling today to our children and our children's children. We have refused to make the gap, accepting that in unity we can be able to defeat the monster that is creeping into the Satan state. Like what my brother just said right now. I had a video I did in the morning about, Fulani headmen waving AK-47 around Eho, Obadan area, Obage 2, in one of the local government area. Someone was killed, according to the video that I played. And the guy had been taken to the mortuary. He was one of the vigilantes in that community. And over 12 persons were already kidnapped and led into the bush by these ravaging elders. The reason why this is working, it is because the unity among the South have been broken down for reasons best known to them. Because if there is unity, before they will pass through all these other Southern states and get into Edo, they would have by now be heard in one state in the South if there's a collaboration. But that we don't have. None of the Southerners, rather they are fighting themselves. In the North, they have the the civilian JTF in the north, who superimposed themselves on the military when there was high insecurity situation in Borno. They superimpose themselves on the military. Today, they now use sophisticated weapons to fight alongside the Nigerian military. Many of the JTF has also been enlisted into the Nigerian army as a full-fledged Nigerian military. But in the south, nothing is done. A woman was raped, a pregnant woman was raped in Enugu. Nothing was done. Many incidents also happened in Edo. Nothing was done. All over the south, killings have been taking place. A first-class king was killed in Yoruba land. Nothing was done. The daughter of the Afenifere was killed in Yoruba land. Nothing was done. Olufelai, a wanted presidential candidate, was kidnapped in his farm. And ransom was paid. Nothing was done. A local government chairman in Esan or thereabout was kidnapped some few days ago. And ransom was paid before it was released. The brother of the deputy governor of Edo State was kidnapped. Guys, what we should be thinking is the level of insecurity that is ravaging the South. How we can unite together and form, a formidable force to be able to put to an end the inflow of these rampaging elders with AK-47, but rather, we are fighting ourselves along ethnic lines being created by the British people. Bros, go check the Yoruba tradition wedding. Go check their wedding, their marriage rite. Very little difference from the Benin. Go check the Ijaw. Go check the Robos. Go check the Shekiris. Go check the Bibios, the Afemas. Very little different from the Benin. Go check the Igbo tradition. Very little difference from the Benin. Let's look at our mode of dressing. Go check our mode of dressings. Traditional mode of dressing, not the one that we are now imposed on us. Now, the traditional mode of dressing was wrapper. Very, very, go check. Anabada, go check it. Check from the south down to the east. It is nearly the same. What about the gods they served before the coming in of the white men? It is nearly the same. What makes people the same is not the language they speak, it's the culture. The thing that makes you to be my brother, it's not about language alone, it's the culture. That is why we have this Scandinavian country. They call themselves one, but they don't speak, all of them don't speak the same language. The Finnish people speak Finnish. The Danish people speak Danish. And the Norway people speak Norwegian. But because they have one same culture, they call themselves the Vikings. That is what bonds them together. And that's why they work so closely in anything they do. These nations, I just quoted here, we are expected the same in the South. Language should not be the basis for who your brother is. What binds you together is supposed to be your culture. Your culture. Not the language you speak. Thank God today, we now have a general language called the English. that we all can understand, or the pidgin that we all can understand. So language is no more a barrier. It's no more a barrier. So what is now the bond? Because we speak one language now, the pidgin English or the English language. Is our culture nearly the same? The answer is yes. If it's the same, why then are we segregating ourselves? Let's bridge the gap. The white man told you lies. The South is not your enemy. They told our forefathers lies. That's why Awolowo and Unadaziki we never agreed. They told our forefathers lies. That's why Ojukwu and Awolowo never agreed. It was the lies that was imposed on our people by the British government. They give us that belief that because all of us we are very intelligent, if anyone is being allowed to rule over the other, then we superimpose themselves on the others. That has brought us to where we are today. Until we go back to the drawing board and start thinking again on how to mend the broken fences, we will continue to shout year and will be killed for no reason. You all know how many IPOB guys have been killed by the Nigerian military, whether publicly or secretly. They are in thousands being murdered without nobody talking about it. You know, when they went to Kanu's house, you know how many were killed during that, event that took place. God knows, I think if you are for Biafra, you can be for Biafra. We, the Edos, will not be for Biafra until we sit down on a round table talk and decide on where we are going. I will not be a part of a process that I'm not involving. Okay? Get it very clearly. What you guys are not getting is this. Nobody's against Biafra. But you must come to tell us what is our take in the nation called Biafra. Not we coming to tell you. You want a Biafra nation, then you must come to tell us what is our take. What is our take? What are you going to give to us? If we decide to join you in fighting for the Biafra nation, what is the do's and don'ts? This was what we never did when Nigeria was amalgamated. That's why we're having problems today in Nigeria. The Benin Kingdom never signed a treaty of becoming part of Nigeria. The Igbo never did. The Ijo never did. None of these people did. Nobody did. We were superimposed upon each other by the British people. So whatsoever we are passing through today is as a result of we not accepting the Nigerian state from the beginning in 1914. It is the same thing that we are experiencing today if the IPOB is not coming to sit down with the people. And let me make very clear, my brother, the Benin Kingdom have never been part of. The Benin Kingdom have never been part of the East from the beginning. The Benin Kingdom was actually part of the West. The Benin Kingdom, the Urobo Kingdom, the Ijo Kingdom, the Shekiri, were actually part of the West. Because of the same marginalization by the western southwestern Nigeria, then brought about the likes of Chief Atone Naro Obakaso II of Great Benin Kingdom, and many others to fight for a region of their own because they were being treated the way they don't like during that time. That's what brought about the referendum of 1963, which eventually gave rise to what we know as the Midwestern region. The Midwestern region was not carved out of the Eastern region, guys. So there have been no time in the history of Nigeria that the Edo State or the Bendel Edo Delta had anything to do with the East. This very particular region was created by Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Tafawa Balewa. And the parliament at that time, which Chief Anthony Naro and many others were part of it. So even before then, there was nothing like the military coup that took place in 1966. So when we say the Benin must be part of the Biafra, we have never been part of Biafra from the beginning. When we were being treated bad, we became an independent region, which automatically means we can also become an independent nation if the need arises. So if you want us to become part of the Biafra nation, which is okay, then you must come to us and sit on a round table talk. There are many things that are involved in these nations you guys don't get clearly. Okay. You guys will bear with me today. Maybe I'm going to take you a little bit, maybe I might take you up to 2 hours, 30 minutes today, guys. If it's okay. Please just share this video. Now, let me say something here. The Benin king, the Upper of Benin, is one of the most respected first-class traditional ruler in the entire nation. Before the coming in of the British, who not decided to downgrade the power of the king of Benin, and that made the Sultan of Sokoto, which is a political kingship, to now become the most respected senior. But it was done by the British, leaving the one who is hereditary, not contestable, to not become the third or the fourth in the entire nation. It was gazetted into law. Then the government, the traditional class in Benin had no other option than to accept. What was also the problem while we were under the West? It was the same problem of traditional recognitions. Based on history that the Benin knows, that Oduduwa was a son that migrated from Benin, Ito, Ile-Ife. But while they were still under the West at that time, the Oni of Ife, who is not even a blue blood by history, was now made to be the most senior king in the West. That was where the problem came. Which eventually made the Benin then and the other part of the Bendel to fight for their own region, which they got in 1963. So, if peradventure you want the Benin to be part of the Biafra region or Biafra state, as you claim it to be, the first we need to think of this. What is the constitutional power of the monarch of the Benin Kingdom? These are many things that you need negotiation to deal with, guys. When we talk, I talk with facts. Please guys, share this video. These are things that we need to sit down and discuss about. There are many things that we need to discuss. The mineral resources of today lies around the Niger Delta area. The mineral resources of today lies around the Niger Delta area. How are we going to mine the mineral resources? What? These are, listen, to get a nation is not by just going around doing propagandas. It requires a lot of underground work, which most of these people are not doing, guys. It's not about, it goes beyond propagandas. You must do a lot of underground work to bring people to believe in your cause. Do you know how long it has taken me to get to where I am today on the social media space? So people, it took them 5-6 years to get to where I am. So people, it took them 4 years. But it's taking me less than a year. Precisely not up to 6 months to have attained the level I am now today on the social media space. Do you know why? It's because of the way I'm man now. I am doing it. I am negotiating, talking with people, so that I can be on call. I can be on call for the whole day. People here, they know. They call me, I listen, I discuss with you. That makes you to want to come back to my show tomorrow and be on the show to listen to me. What you don't understand, you know, when you call me, I will give you an answer. I will give you time, even as much as 20 minutes on each person. Okay, guys. So, that aside, let's go. Now, people are talking about the killings. What about the killings? What about the killings? I said this morning, I want to say it again. This is why we need unity. People misplace priorities. People and twist realities just to score political correctness. Please share this video. Sister Mebe, welcome. You came late today. Oh. Just share this video, please. Just to create some level of correctness, political correctness. The military architecture of Nigeria today, I'm going to say clearly, the military architecture of Nigeria today encourages the military architecture of Nigeria today encourages insecurity. The military architecture of Nigeria today encourages killings, encourages banditry, encourages armed robbery. Okay, that is the truth. While one man is sitting in Abuja and they were dead in Benin during the court war, and the governor of the state is chief security officer by mouth. Chief security officer by mouth. They don't have the power to command any of the military personnel in their state. None of them does. None of them does, guys. None does. So it is as bad as that. Obaseki cannot command the commissioner of police to do what he wants. The commissioner of police can only listen to Buhari or the inspector general of police. The same thing with the OC commandant and any other military heads in the state. Only take instructions from their military command in Abuja. If we don't know how the architecture works, you guys need to listen. You must understand the way and manner the architecture works in every state. Today, Obaseki can say there are wars in Benin. The Benin is becoming secured. I want the police to go out, all out for these boys. They will say, yes, sir. When they leave the security meeting, they will return. They will return back to their office and send a signal to their headquarters in Abuja. Those people will not either approve or disapprove until an approval is given to them. They will not go on the street. They will refuse to go on the street. That is the way and manner, the architectural structure of the military in Nigeria operates today. Why do you think many of us are clamoring for restructuring? So that I can be able to face Obaseki or any governor at that time and talk to them man to man. But today, I can't do that. I can only tell him, you need to help us. And in the same way, he's going to also tell the commissioner, you need to help me. Commissioner will say, sir, I need to go to Abuja and tell the IGP of your request. If your request is granted, then we will come back. Before then, the hoodlums would have created so very many atrocities. So the issue about killing in Edo State that many of us uses as a song, as a music, it goes beyond what you guys can think. Let me also tell you, even the local vigilante that is empowered by the people or by the government do not have the power to extrajudicially kill anyone. Go check history. Go read the law. Except they wear a gun battle. They are required to arrest anyone that is perpetrating any form of crime in their community and hand over them to the police. Have you not heard of many of these Fulanis, headers, that was caught in our bushes, that be handed over to the police? And as you are giving it to the police, the following day they are being released back to the street again. Where the police commissioner in your state is from Katsina. The assistant police commissioner in your state is from Kano. Oh, the OC commandant, the one in charge of the army is from Nasarawa. and you now catch a Fulani elder who committed great havoc, you hand him over to them. They will say, okay. Then the moment you are going, they release them back to the street again. Have you not heard of people, how they went to a village in the east? I think it's in Enugu precisely. Because they killed some of these elders who they saw was committing crime in the society. And the military came in vans and nearly leveled the entire village down, killing a lot of youth, arresting hundreds of them, and took them to barrack. Because of one Fulani elders was killed while committing crime. So when people want to use the insecurity in the state as a political correction, in order for them to be able to, cajole the people, I would say, guys, you missed the point. If you read or you actually studied the event as it's being played in Nigerian state, you will understand that the governors, as far as security is concerned, do not have power to make any law. That is why we are begging. We are clamoring. That's what I expect the Biafra to join us to clamor for. Restructure Nigeria. If you restructure Nigeria, you already had your Biafra state, where the state government cannot appoint a commissioner of police by themselves, just the way it is in the United States. What do you think makes the United States so peaceful? It is because even the local government have their own police. The state government have their own police. The federal government have their own police. If you go to Sapoma Road, Sapoma to the upper Sapoma, for example, if you go to Upper, there are many chorus in that area that you will never know, except the indigenous of the people in that state. If you bring a man who does not even understand Voye in Benin to become the commissioner of police, to become the commissioner of police, even when crime is being plotted in front of him using the native language, he will not even understand what they are doing. That's number one. Why we are clamoring for the state police restructuring. Number two, if the DPO of that police station, of that position that was destroyed, is Bekun or whatever, in Upper Sapoma that was destroyed, was actually a son of that community, I am very sure it won't happen. Let me tell you a story back around 1989, 90, 87, 89, 90, 91, when our brother, the most dreaded armed robber in the history of Nigeria, Lawrence Anini, when it became imperative that the police could not get this guy, I remember the then president of Nigeria, the head of state then, IPOB, in their council meeting, asked them, where is Anini? He said, sir, we have not caught him. Immediately changed the then Inspector General of Police to an Edo man. He changed the Commissioner of Police in Edo to an Edo man. And he made a decree that every state, every policeman should return back to their own state. to return back to their own state. That was like my uncle, who was an inspector of police then, was returned back from Calabar to Benin in less than 3 weeks, and then he was apprehended. Because then, every conversation that is being said, these people, they hear because they understood their language. This is the tactic that the government of America is operating on. That is why they have relative peace in the United States. We need, the state government needs power. Yes, sir. Yeah, power is there. The state government needs power when security is concerned. Today, they don't have it. Do you even know that the community police that Obaseki just said they graduated? Yeah, he did well. But you know, they said they're going to work with the Nigerian police. That's what they said. Those boys are going to work with the Nigerian police. It means they don't even have the power of their own. They will be under the wings of the Nigerian police. They can arrest a Fulani with an AK-47. The police can decide to release them tomorrow because the command who is in power in the state there is a Fulani man. So when we begin to blame the government, we must sit down. We must study. We must understand what is happening around. Then that will help us to get the fact of the figure. Please share this broadcast. Okay, guys. If you know what I'm doing is very educative, you need to help me by sharing and giving me some likes. Okay, putting some love on the show for me. It takes time. Oh, this is not easy. Oh, I dey read book well. I dey try. Oh, Abi. I'm trying. Oh. Now, let me also go back again where we need, the community or the state police. During the Second World War, around 1940 to 1943 or 1944, when Germany, under the control of Adolf Hitler, was already ravaging the entire world, the British military then was at the forefront of the war because they were actually the worst powers at that time, not America. Okay? So back home, there was nobody to protect the people. So what the government did then was to create what they call the home guide, which is the same thing as the local police. Okay? Was to create what they call the home guide in Britain, the United Kingdom. The old guys who could not go to war, the young guys who also could not go to war, will now be trained and given weapons to now protect all the entrances and the exits of the United Kingdom against the Nazis invaders. That is what I am talking about. If that is what we are clamoring for as the Southern state today, I will say, wow, we will be on the right path to freedom. Because if you have the policing or the security of your state in the hands of the state, then you actually have won the war by 50 or 60%. Because then The ravaging Muslims, oh no, sorry, the ravaging elders, Fulani elders in your bushes will not come again. If even they are there, they have to follow the rules and regulations of the community. Otherwise, they will end up in prison. And nobody will have the power to come to your state and get them bailed. But today, the reverse is the case. They rape your wife, you kill one of them, police arrest you. They shoot you, you fight back to kill one of them, you be the one that will be arrested. Okay, guys. So that's what the British did. They created the Home Guide to protect the invaders who were actually the Nazist army that was coming, to invade the entire state. So we also need the same to be created to protect our communities. Like we're talking about the one there now. Not only one there, if you go to Ovia North, Biniore Road, now war, very close to Kada. Anytime I go home, when I'm taking the bus, I'm scared. As I'm getting to Kada, I'm praying. That's why if I'm going home, sometimes I get to Lagos around 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't leave that day. I don't leave. I will just return back I'll go and stay in an hotel till early morning, around 5 or 6 o'clock 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when I take my leave. Then the road is very clear. Then at the time I come out of Lagos into Lagos Ogun Expressway, it will be around 6:37 in the morning. Then I will be able to get to Benin by 10, 11, or 12 in the afternoon. But that's not how it's supposed to be. I remember in those days, around when I was a little bit younger, I normally travel to Lagos. So I take the night bus. I get to Benin 2 o'clock in the morning. I get to Benin 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I would take the bus from Lagos to Warri. When I was living in Warri, there was no so much insecurity the way there is today. We feel comfortable. We even love taking night bus. Like most of the Igbos here, we can blame weakness. Before that, the Igbo man loved taking night bus. The John Shagro, Ikedili Chuku, and many others. Those Los Road baby buses. They take night bus. But it's not there anymore. Because this system had failed. And it is getting more serious in the South because we are getting disunited by the day. We are getting disunited by the day, and that's creating unnecessary war among the lines for us as a people. My mommy said I'm a music teacher. Mommy, now so what I will do? The beginner I saw book I read now. I don't tell the person where they go class. I don't want to write exam. I can't do exam every day. For us to also stop insecurity. Do you know that in Benin, in Edo State, for example, we have the forest guards? The same in other parts of the South. But do you know that our forest guards goes into the forest with their guns? Their guns, those hunter guns. Where they use not bullets, those they are what you call. Let me cartridge. All those round like in Benin we call it we call it what do you call it in Benin? Those round ones agile. That's what the forest guys carry. All these dead guns that they used to do hunting. Why the people they are going to meet in the forest, they have pump actions, cut to size double barrel. They have AK-47. They have AK-45. So they have machine guns. Because our forests were dead safe because we have a lot of forest guards. Then illegal timber in Benin, I remember then. Because when there was a time, my friend, very close friend of mine, he was like my elder brother. He was working in this, he was driving this Abegi, this 911. The one they used in bringing the timbers from the forest. There was a day I followed him down to the bush. There were a lot of people in the bush. They called forest guard then. Our bushes were safe. There was nothing like kidnapping. It's not possible. But today, the forest guard had disappeared. We need them back. The government should create a law that will give them good guns to do this job better. Insecurity will go. Instead of fighting ourselves, this is what the Satan government should be sitting down and be discussing. Do you know today, in the video I did it in the morning, we were told in one day that Binia Uchi Road, they have 70 to 80 Fulani herdsmen in the forest with AK-47s. 70 to 80. I'm not joking. Go check the video. I did it in the morning. I wasn't the one that said it. One of the guys, one of the vigilantes said that. So from a very reliable information that he got, there are 70 to 80 Fulani herdsmen with AK-47 in the forest. Can you imagine that? The South is at war. We are already being surrounded. We are already being invaded. We should stop fighting ourselves and start seeing the danger ahead of us. It is only in unity you can get Biafra. It's only in unity you can get Oduduwa or the Niger's Delta. If you start thinking you are going to divide, bros, you guys are joking. The day they will hear this with you, pure, only pure they will hear. They will invade your village and take over the entire village. And we all know, all of you here know from the search. All of us know the story from the start. Jenny Magic. If you know I'm talking rubbish, you come out and say your own, so I will know how best you understand what we are talking about. Somebody is talking rubbish. You are watching someone that is talking rubbish. You find that you are the one that is actually more. Let me not use the word bad now. Let me just leave you. Okay, guys. So instead of us coming together now, imagine only in the world that they have 70 to 80 invaders, Fulani herdsmen in their forest. What do you have in the east? What do you have in the west? What do you have in other local government other local government that has a forest in Edo State? The same in the western state and the same in the eastern state. So you will understand clearly that the problem we are facing is bigger than the petty fight that we are fighting as Satanas. That is why unity is the only way. Unity is the only way we can be able to achieve anything that we fight for. Whether you are fighting for Biafra, fighting for Duduwa, fighting for wherever you are fighting for. In unity, we can make it possible. When this hand was this hand, the hands will be clean. So we need forest guards. They need to be reactivated. They need to be reorganized so that they can go into our forest and fish out these crazy guys. Listen, our people actually know their bush. Our people actually know their bush better than even the Fulanis. So if our people get the right equipment, the right ammunitions, even in the AK-47, they get a pump action, and people go into the bush, I can promise you, this Fulani herdsmen will be history. I'm not joking. This Fulani, they will be history. Because these bushes are being known by the people in that community. So they know where to go in the night and take them unawares, even why they don't even know how to run. Because they only made a pathway. They go in and go out. But this people knows the entire community, how the entire bush is. Because they work there. Many of them are hunters. They can get these guys down. But when you don't have the required ammunition to fight them, then you are putting yourself at risk. That is why they are still operating. So we need the government to please empower the forest guides, bring them back to life again. Let the bush be invaded. Let these, criminals be chased out of our forests in the south. Until the South understands we have a common enemy, which is these elders, we will be surprised the day will be overrun by them. We should forget all this story of Biafra. We should forget all this story of Oduduwa. Let me say something clearly to us. When you are already being invaded, you are already being circled around by these people. The day you declare your Biafra or your Duduwa or your Bende, these guys will come out and make your state even ungovernable. You guys don't understand. The plan is there. Listen, guys. These guys already had a plan. If they force themselves out of Nigeria, then the machinery they have already set in our forests will invade your villages. They will start operating like gorillas in your village. And you know very well that 90% of our youth are no more in the village. They've relocated to the city. Our villages now is now composed of our young ones and our aging mothers and fathers who cannot actually withstand the venom of this rampaging, criminal blooded elders. They understand the moment we fight to get this, we start off first of all clearing the entire forest around us. We are still at war. We are in danger because they will still come after you, even when you got in your nation. If you succeed, because you're already surrounded. Because during succession, there's always a breakdown of law and order. Because the moment you decide to succeed, and it was approved, before you can put up your security apparatus, These guys will overrun you. This is what is happening in Sudan today. Go check. So of course, we are just here. We don't actually go check. This is what is happening. They will overrun the entire place and create anarchy. And create anarchy everywhere. So you must be a deep thinker. You must understand how the world operates today. You don't come on Facebook and start challenging people that actually go deep and do research on how every other nations are you've been turned into chaos, and you come up and want to start saying some words that are not okay. Okay? In the north, they have the JTF, civilian JTF. But in the south, they don't allow that. You don't ask yourself why. The south is at war, like the north is at war. Truth, guys. The south is at war, like the north is at war. No, I'm talking with figures, not with facts. The south is at war, as the north is at war. Are you an Igbo man? Uwaogu. Is there any killing in Igbo land by Fulani men? Is there any killing in Igbo land by Fulani men? If there is, then what more fact do you need? Is your governor in charge of security apparatus in the state? If no, what more fact do you need? Is the insecurity situation in your state very grievous? If yes, what more fact do you need? Is life and property secured in your state? If no, what more fact do you need? So if I tell you I'm speaking now, you must sit down and understand that everything that I'm saying now are in the public domain, that which you as a person also can find out to know if I'm telling you the truth or not. Thank you, bro. So we need like the civilian GTF in the south. Our youth must brace up. Like what happened today at one day. I was so pleased. Despite that the ghost was not the ghosts were nowhere to write them about. But that very particular action taken by those people, maybe they'll say, yeah, these guys they really want to defend their land. They said they are tired of being killed. They are tired of being played on by these people. They need guns that they are ready to chase them out of their bush if they get a more better and a more equipped ammunition, arms and ammunition. That was there. It is in my money video that I did. The government of every state in the south should start giving these people, create them, inaugurate them, don't make them be rowdy. Inaugurate them, give them licenses, give them guns, tell them the rules of engagement on how they will go. Send them, they know their forest better than the police, my brother. These guys, if you go to Enugu now, they know their villages far better than anybody from Edo, even than anybody from Abia State. They can be able to defend their people better than any other persons. So the state government should start creating the same apparatus, not using the military or the police to create, some form of operation, wherever they call it. It's going to still be the same thing. It's still the same thing. Because they know nowhere. But if you give these jobs to the locals, with just 2 policemen to follow them around, you're going to see a lot of success in those forests because they know all the hidden ways within those forests. How did they end up the Upper Samaba crisis? The moment the IPOB local government chairman constituted a vigilante that made up of people from that area, that was the end. In less than 3 days, Upper was quiet. Many of these people were caught. Many of them were caught. That is what the indigenous can do if power is handed over to the people. The local government should have power over its security. The state government should have power over its security. Whereby the federal government cannot super rule or supersedes the other ones, just the way it is in every developed state. Go to London, go to the United Kingdom, they have it the same way. When you are practicing the kind of system that we practice in Nigeria, whereby we have many nations in one, the unitary system of government was created to cause mayhem on the people. It will not take us nowhere. It will lead us nowhere. Before we can ask for any form of secession, we must unite as Southerners in order for us to get to where we are getting to. I know this Jenny Magic. I think she's more or less like an IPOB person who do not most of them, not all of them, who do not listen. Who do not listen, they don't understand how things work. Even when you talk, their mind is so brainwashed that all they see is we must go, we must go, we must go, we must go, we must go. If you are going, have you sat down to count the cost? Have you sat down to count the consequences that is going with your going? Have you sat down to think and say, okay, if I am going, what will my nation look like? Let me shock you a little bit, Jenny Magic. The governor of Anambra State is not a full animal. It's an Igbo man. The governor of Enugu, the governor of Imo, the governor of the entire 5 states, and the local government chairman, and the councillors, the commissioners, the permanent secretary, they are all from Igbo extractions. The same with Benin. Are they actually doing what they are expected to do? Are they not sealing us dry as a people? You see a guy who just finished university without no job. He will contest for local government or councillorship position in his local government. In 4 years, he's building a mansion that worth 100 million. Is it the outside that cost that? We all knew what Okorocha did in Imo State. Was it the outside that cost that? We must, as a matter of fact, repair our own first before we talk of living. If you live today, is breaking away from Nigeria solve the problem of the East, particularly in our states? There's nothing in those states. There's nothing in the entire South state. Just the way there is nothing in the North. Nothing. Practically nothing. No roads, no light, no good health care, no good water. Nothing whatsoever. I think this guy is one of the biggest fool I have ever seen. I think she need to go on time out. Okay, guys. So nothing. Is that the cause of Buhari? When we begin to run away from the truth, this is what we get. You guys are being brainwashed by one guy sitting in London, being paid £30,000 every month. Sit down, go down, deep down, go understand what is happening. Thank God, even Unadikano had an interview with Dele Momodu. He said he's ready for restructuring if that is the best way to have a better Nigeria. Go watch the video. So you guys should not be brainwashed into believing things that is not actually working. Okay? Yeah, Ijele, the guy Ijele is coming for her. Don't mind, these are the people there who do not even actually understand anything. When you are saying something one, they'll be talking about two. They are so brainwashed that they're not acting like some of them acting like zombies. Who can even think with their faculty anymore? The home state of Nnamdi Kanu, Abia State, there's no light, no good road, no electricity, no good health care. In his own state. Is that the cause of the Hausa people? If we must get our own state, we must put these criminals to order. Or are you going to say and tell me that at the end of the day, you're going to kill all these criminals you have in the East when you have your BFR? Do you know how many millions of youth that are being inculcated into this criminal act by these leaders? Let me also shock you. Let me shock you a little bit. Who buy fake drugs to Nigeria? Who buy fake packs to Nigeria? Is that going to change when we have Biafra? Come on, guys. We must deal with these bad eggs among us first. The people who are making billions today, who are sponsoring this whole nonsense, they're actually the criminals in Nigeria. Yeah. They're actually the armed robbers we have in that nation. Okay, guys. so like I said, Igbos are my people. And many of them understood what I'm saying, and many of them understood my point, where I'm going to. If you are clamoring for something, do not destroy other because you can never get it. You can't get it. You must listen to other point of view. Trying to put it to your own, you understand where they are going to. If you want to feel, okay, you must destroy others, then you are not ready. That means you are not ready to actually get your state. You are just wanting to create unnecessary sin. Listen, UN doesn't run to issues like this. So, okay, for UN to come to the aid of us getting Biafra is when the entire southern state, Yoruba, the south, and southeast decides to speak in one voice. That's only when they come in. I don't know how many of you watched Prophet Yusuf this today on Arise TV or yesterday or so. He said that when the NSA protest started, that the government heard, they said, Obari must speak. You know what he meant? It simply means that our voice was heard. that we spoke, that shook them. That's what unity did. In that protest, there was no Igbo, there was no Yoruba, there was no Edo. Everybody became one entity. The North heard our voice. We sent a strong signal to them, and they received it that we were ready. That is the pointer to what I'm talking about today. Division will take you nowhere, brother. Until we unite together, we go nowhere. There is no Biafra. There is no Duduwa. There is no Edo. We are certain people. We will begin to call ourselves like that. That is the only way we can win this fight. We did it during the answers, and the world heard us. We shook the world. The first time that CNN, BBC, and every other international media took notice of the event that was happening in Nigeria. The kind of cover that we got during the answer, we have never gotten even during the Boko Haram war. To the point that even CNN had to send drones around the Lekki Tollgate area on the night of the massacre. That will tell you the much unity can give us. People like this Jenny Magic or whatever they call her are actually the ones that have been brainwashed not to understand that togetherness, we can do wonders. I beg. Now, there's one thing I also want to say, which this man also said. I want to re-echo it. I remembered a few years back, the federal government made a law that all SIM cards must be registered. All SIM cards must be registered. That any SIM card that is not registered should be blocked. My question is this today. These guys who are kidnapping people for ransom in the East, in the West, in the South, even in the northern part, and they use phones to call their victims people to negotiate for the ransom. Can't these people who are involved in this telecommunication, can't them trace those callers where they are? Guys, listen. I don't even know Vera Wala, the guy that was killed, that was raped in Edo State, inside the church. I don't know if you can still remember the story of Wala. I don't know if you can still remember the story of Wala. That was raped and killed inside the church. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Now, do you know that they caught the guys that did it because of our phone? Our phone. they threw away the SIM card. But because the SIM card was registered to that phone, they went to Nigeria Broadcasting Corporation. They demanded for a number. They got the number. They now found the number had been thrown away. They now found there is a new number that the phone is not placed in. That's how they traced the guys who bought the phone, then who sold the phone. That's how they caught all the guys that were involved in that crime. It was easy to do it in Edo State, but they don't want to do it in Nigeria. That will tell you there is something fishy about what is happening in the state or in the nation. The Fulani has they kill people. They take their phone. Sometimes they first of all call the family of the person with the person phone. Then after they have spoken to the person, they throw away the SIM card and put their SIM card into that phone. And they call. People say they use this old phone. Let me tell you guys, even the old phone can be tracked. It is not the phone that is sending the signal. It is the people, it is the telecommunication company that sends the signal of where they are. The signal is not from the phone. The signal is from the SIM card. So when you are calling, the SIM card registered at the center data of that telecommunication, whether NTN, Econet, or wherever, or Globe, wherever they call it. Then the location of these people ought to be known. And if their SIMs are not registered, why are we still having unregistered SIMs in circulation in Nigeria? How do they work? Because we were told, and I remember when I went home, I refused to register a SIM card. The SIM card did not work. It didn't work. It didn't work. Why not register these SIM cards, all of them? Then as you are buying a SIM card from whoever you are buying the SIM card from, there is a form you need to fill immediately that will be computed into the data before the SIM card can be taken. If this is not a plan by the Fulani-led government of Nigeria to create a warlike situation in the South, just because they've already, on their own, created one in the North. Before now, we only have the Boko Haram during 2015. Now, we have the Boko Haram divided into two. The ISIS wing of West Africa. We have the original Boko Haram. We now have the killer herders, which is the second most deadly terrorist group in the world. We now have the bandits. Okay? Then we now have the kidnapping squad. So from one, we now have 5 in the last 5 years. And all of these people use this phone to communicate. Are they going to tell me that they are unable to trace these people to know where they are? In conclusion for today, guys, sometimes I sit down and wonder, how do our leaders actually sleep? How do our leaders sleep when the year of the killings in the entire nation? I wonder how they sleep. Anytime I hear of death, I'm terrified because I feel it could be me. It could be my parents. It could be my in-laws, my families. It could be my close friends. It could be people I know in my community. That's how I feel every time someone is being killed. How come 100 something people were killed in Borno, slaughtered like rams, and the president had made no statement till this moment? In August here, over 22 people were killed in Kaduna State. Nothing they have said concerning it. I begin to wonder, are these guys actually humans? Is it because it's not happening to their own people or what? What is actually the problem? I'm pained in my spirit that the youth of our generation is supposed to be planning on how for us to rescue the nation. We are here clamoring, clapping, destroying one another, all in the name of political corrections. These criminals, there's no Hausa in them. These criminals, there's no Igbo in them. These criminals, there's no Yoruba in them. These criminals does not have Niger Delta blood in them. They are one. They are criminals. We have two tribes in Nigeria. We have two tribes in Nigeria. The rich and the poor. We have two religions in Nigeria. The rich and the poor. We have two languages in Nigeria. The political class and the masses. Get this and get that into your heads. Every youth. The rich, the poor, that's the two class. The rich, the poor, that's the two language. The political class and the masses. That is your religion. Nothing more. Nothing. None of them cares about you, whether it's an Igbo man, Hausa man, Yoruba man, or whoever. The same way you are suffering, the same way that they are suffering. This whole problem you see today in the north is orchestrated by the elites to perpetually keep these people in bondage. In conclusion, your president is an extremist. Okay? But all his children studied abroad. All his children studied abroad. But he can easily encourage Amajaris in the north. But he refused to allow his children to be Amajaris. Your president says he is a core Muslim. But the wife and his daughters do not wear habib. They dress normally, like we the South. Guys, it is time we start waking up. See, it is time we start getting the reality. Whether you are from the North, the youth of the North, hear me. These guys do not like you. you are only good to be used as political talks, criminals, killers, high assassins, and all that. But when it comes to things that needs of importance, they do not put your name in it. So it is at time we start thinking, let's think well, let's join hands together, let's unite in the South. And I promise you, the day the South understands this unity that I am fighting for, that is the day. That is the day that this so-called Nigeria will start working. That is the day. This old breakage, will see it working. If we unite, particularly with the youth, decide to unite together. I said enough is enough. These old criminals, we're going to put them under our feet, just like Jay Rollins did in Ghana, that made Ghana to become the envy of the ECOWAS state today. Thank you, guys. God bless you. See you tomorrow as we continue in this broadcast. Have a nice day, guys. Bye.